Okay, so today we have a 1974 BMW 2002. This was one of our early conversions. Back in 2018, we did this car. This is a very nice example of this particular generation of 2002. It is a square taillight uh, generation car, not a roundy, but you can see it has the Euro bumpers on it, which make it a lot tighter than they were in the States with the big old shock absorber bumpers. Uh, I think it all came together really, really well. The Colorado orange paint is really nice. It looks good. It's like really, really beautiful little car. Um, anyway, this car was originally built for a client here in Austin, and then it was sold, and now it's coming up again for an auction. Not too much has changed since we originally did it. Mostly some aesthetic things on the interior, but it's primarily set up the way it always has. It has a HP EVS dual um, 35 motor. This motor makes about 150 horsepower and about 185 foot-pounds of torque. Plenty. It is mated to a 5-speed transmission in this car. So this is, these would be originally 4-speed transmissions, but a lot of people do the 5-speed upgrade. That was done originally on this car before when we did the conversion, but it was done with an older transmission. We just swapped the transmission in this, and with a new one, only a few thousand miles on it, and it really took care of some leaks and some vibration from the old transmission. So it's running in top shape now, and that package is mated with a 28 kilowatt hour battery pack, which are using Tesla Model S modules in this one. It's a mid voltage solution, so it's about 150 volts peak charge, and 28 kilowatt hours, depending on how you drive it, should be plenty for probably around 75, 80 miles of range, and that's usable kilowatt hours. So um, a lot of people will quote the full capacity of those Tesla Model S modules, and the reality is you can't get all that out of them. This is we verified this to be right around 28 kilowatt hours. So it's a great round towner. It is a fun little car with a 5-speed. You'll see as we drive it, you can start it off in second gear or even third, and it's super easy to drive, or you can rev it out in first and have fun and beat people off the stoplights. It is a fun little car. I love these things. This is definitely one of our simpler conversions. Like I said, 2018. We do really sophisticated, complicated conversions in our more recent vehicles. This is certainly a simpler solution, but there's a purity to that I love. It really drives and runs and feels like a 2002, right? And that's what we wanted to do, is preserve the drivability of this car and make it feel like you are still in a BMW 2002, and it does that, and it's great. A lot peppier than an original 2002 and a lot more fun to drive, but it's the same kind of driving experience. So I'll show you kind of how this looks. Okay. Uh, right off the bat, you see the two inverters. These are, we said this is a dual HP EVS motor car. So you have two inverters. You can see DC phase leads, or DC leads, and then the AC phase leads out to the motors. Right in front of it, you'll see the smaller of the battery pack. This is two of the Tesla Model S modules up front here. You'll see the cooling lines going into them and the connections on the side over there. Over in this corner, you'll see the manual disconnect. So if ever anybody needs to work on the car and disconnect the high voltage, that switch turns it all off. Over here, you see the coolant reservoir. So if it needs to be topped off on coolant. Honestly, coolant never should run out in these cars. You just want to watch for a leak, and that could possibly happen. That's where it would be refilled. This car is equipped with full electric air conditioning. So you'll see the condenser up there with the fan, and that it's quite nice actually. It works quite well. It's a vintage air unit underneath the dashboard. We'll take a look at that when we get in there. Over here is your brake reservoir. This car has manual brakes, not power assist brakes. So it's a firm pedal feel, but it works great. And there's your fuse box, which is for the 12-volt system in the car. This remains the same as it always did in 1974. So that's the engine bay. We come back here and look in the trunk. In the trunk, you'll see the remainder of the battery boxes here. This is the remaining 4 modules. It's a 6-module setup, and they're put as far forward as possible to be between the rear wheels. Behind there is the DC-DC converter and onboard charger. The charge port is here. You can see where the original gas filler would be. It's a J1772 charge port. Down here, you see your 12-volt battery. We like to use these anti-gravity lithium batteries that have a restart feature. So if you ever left the lights on or something like that and drain the battery, these batteries cut themselves off and leave enough charge so that if you wanted to start the car back up, you can reach in there and press the restart button and then start right back up. So pretty straightforward back in the trunk. So let's hop in and take it for a ride. Okay. Turn on the car, you just turn the key like you would normally, and everything turns on. In the center display, you'll see the battery management display. It'll show you how many volts. It'll talk about capacity, talk about your state of charge, and it'll show voltages of the individual cells and any warnings or issues that you have. You'll also notice that next to it is climate control. So this vehicle is equipped with air conditioning. You just crank up that fan. You'll hear the compressor kick on. When this button is pressed and illuminated, that means you're on air conditioning, and you'll get AC here. If you switch over here, you unpress this, and you go over to heat, you'll get heat. And they both work quite well and are very helpful. These buttons here cycle through the informational display below. So if you ever needed to see temperature of your controller or your motor, what have you, all that's in there. Middle button here is for the a higher regen mode. So if you want to enable more regen, you can click it into that mode, and it'll give you more regen. This is just a simple gauge to show you whether or not your 12-volt battery is charging. In these EV conversions, the big battery that's being used to power the motor and inverter, we use a DC-DC converter that knocks that down to 13.8 volts and keeps the 12-volt battery system charged, much like an alternator would in a regular car. Everything else is pretty much straight O2, specifically the 5-speed, which is kind of honestly the most fun about this car. I mentioned it earlier. Driving this car is really much like driving an O2, only you have a lot more torque and you have a lot more horsepower, but not too much. It doesn't overwhelm the car. This is really designed to be a vehicle that behaves and drives like a sporty O2, right? And that's our goal with all of this. So you can start it in first gear. Because it's an electric, it's not idling, so you don't need to push in the clutch. You don't need to slip it in any way. It'll go into whatever gear you decide to go into. If you put it in first, you can get a fair amount of torque. So if you crunch it, you get a lot. And this car can be really fun. I really like it on the little back roads here. Something to know though is because it has enough torque, I can leave it in second gear. So I'm sitting here at the stop sign, I'm in second gear, and it pulls away just fine in second gear. And if I floor it, it's quite punchy. It's third, and nobody on the bridge. Woo! Anyway, I'm doing a few O2s in my time, and None of them are that quick. But this is a fun little car. So here we'll just pull out onto the road. Once you're driving, it's pretty much the same as any 1974 02. You can just drive it normally. You don't need to row the gears as much as you normally would. I'm in fourth, and I can easily get around this car, no problem. Because there's built-in regen, if we want to downshift, you'll feel it slow you down, much like engine braking would. It just feels very natural, very enjoyable, fun little car to bang around in town. It's just a really great car to zip around town in. It is all the charm of an original O2. None of the hassles, and you got plenty of power. I drove it this morning on the highway at 85 miles an hour. It just sails. There's no issues. It's really I think a universal car. You can absolutely daily drive this. Yeah, it's not a long trip kind of car. It's got a smaller battery pack, but one of the benefits of a smaller battery pack is you end up with a very good weight balance, right? So the car is not overburdened with a bunch of battery weight. It still feels nice and tight, feels fun, chuckable, and a really good round town, fun vehicle. We love these cars. We really enjoy them, and I think this is a great little example, and I hopeful it gets into the hands of a caring owner and goes on.